Skog. I'm a freelance illustrator based in London. Yeah, so I've always been I've always loved to draw, but I think it was when I started my art foundation in Sweden that I really realized that I wanted to work with art in some way. So after that I applied to St. Martin's, and that's kind of how I got into illustration, and now I work as a freelance illustrator. I think graphic design, it helped me kind of understand how to communicate in the best possible way using typography or visuals. But when I studied graphic design, I always came back to working with illustration. But it definitely made my illustration work stronger. I'm also teaching part-time at Brunel University, and I teach I like Illustrator and Photoshop, and but mostly I work as an illustrator. I have an agency that also support me. I think because I did a lot of competition briefs in uni, I entered a lot of competitions. I wrote to a lot of online platforms about my work. That kind of got my work out there. And then I also contacted a bunch of agencies, and one of them got back to me, which is the one I'm signed with now, Jelly London. And that kind of both gave me the confidence that yeah, I can actually do this freelance work, but also I think for me, having an agent, starting to work freelance, people would trust me to be able to do the work, even though I was a retail graduate. But yeah, that's kind of how. And also I won some competitions, which gave me a lot of confidence in my work, but it also, people saw it. Yeah, so I entered the V&A Illustration Awards. That was my last year of uni, and it was a project called The Thinker, the Explorer and the Leader, and it was a project where I explored female identity positions, and I based it on stereotypically male identity positions that's not usually accessible or associated with women. So I did 3 posters, and they were shortlisted and highly commended, and then also exhibited at the V&A, which was a really big deal for me because I love the V&A. Yeah, so when I get a brief, a commission, I usually start off making like small sketches, like thumbnail-sized sketches. And when I've made like 3 or 4 that I like, I move on to sketching on my iPad. So I use an app called Procreate, and I do rough sketches, and I send them to the client. And then when we've decided for an idea we both like, or that the client like, I move on to make finals in Photoshop. So I use a mirroring app from my iPad to my laptop. Yeah, so my personal work is influenced by feminism and feminist issues, and that affects how I represent female and non-binary identities, and it's a lot about gender identity. I think I try to always consider these things when I do commission work. But when it comes to commission work, the subject matter can be so different. But usually my personal projects are around these themes, yeah. I do use a lot of bright colors. I think it started off being, I was not very confident with color when before I started uni, And then in uni I started exploring a lot of colour, and it's kind of in the beginning it became this thing of kind of having the characters in my drawings to be in your face, be very bright and very confident, and it kind of stuck with me, and now I always use colour. I can't really not use colour anymore. With the use of perspective in my work, I kind of want to either empower my characters, so I like to use a perspective when you're looking up at the characters, and that gives them a powerful appearance. It can also be used the other way, so I think I kind of use it as a way of expressing and creating dynamic illustrations and kind of enhancing the feeling in the illustrations. I did a commission for the Swedish anti-racist magazine called Expo when I was still in uni, and the article was about incels, involuntary celibates, which was a really heavy subject, because incels is kind of this online, you could call it subculture maybe, of white men that hate women, and it was a really difficult subject to do illustrations about. And before that I'd only really done illustrations of strong, powerful women, so this time I had to draw these men, which was a challenge, but I think that how it came out, it went well. I tried to avoid cliches, and I also wanted to give kind of an insight of why these men hate women, not in any way trying to suggest that it was right, but kind of just that these men are very isolated and they feel like failures, and they meet online and kind of fuel each other's hate. So that I was really proud of that commission, because I think the outcome is working really well. Another project I'm really proud of is my first commission from The Guardian. So that was after my degree show, and I got a commission from Sarah, the art director at The Guardian, and she wanted me to do an illustration for this article about child sex abuse, and it was also again very challenging, very heavy subject, but I think the final outcome went really well, and so I'm really proud of that commission. Yeah. I'm doing some work for The Guardian at the moment, which will be published this week. But then I'm also preparing for some talks. So I'm going to Leeds University to do an illustration talk, and I'm also going to be doing a talk at the Apple Store in Covent Garden at the end of March about my work. I think for now I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm really enjoying working freelance, and every time I get a new commission in, it's really exciting. So I think I just want to keep doing this, and hopefully, I mean, I have dream clients I want to work with, so hopefully I will be working with them someday. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to be active on Instagram. I have a lot of work up there, but I also have a website that I'm updating regularly.